don't know if any of you ever saw these. Tessa Violet used to do these like pillow talk videos with friends, and today seemed like a good day to make a video in bed. So I've been thinking a lot recently about missing people. I feel like I have a lot of quotes in my head about missing people and loving people and grief and like where we put our feelings. All of these things feel interconnected to me. There's that John Green quote that goes something like, "You can love people so much, but you can never love them as much as you can miss them." I think there's a pretty interesting idea at the core of that, if you consider everything that we have learned from the Vlogbrothers about imagining others complexly. I think one of the things that happens when we miss people is that we don't just miss the person, we miss all kinds of things. Like we miss the person, we miss the role that they occupied in our life, we maybe start to miss some like imagined aspects of that person. We might, miss things that we imagined that person to be, even if those things aren't entirely true about that person, or we may miss perceived things that they might have brought to our life. I'll give you an example. I remember, growing up in high school, I had crushes. I've had crushes that like moved away. And so when you miss a crush that moves away, you miss the person probably, and you might miss the relationship you had with them if you were friends or classmates or whatever. But you also probably miss the possibility, because while they were there at your school, there was some possibility that like, oh, maybe they'll like me back, maybe we'll get together, maybe something will happen, and when they move away, that possibility is gone. If I'm being honest, I still feel that way about crushes now, because it's like devastating to lose the possibility. That's part of what's fun about having a crush. Sometimes when I find myself missing people, it has less to do with the person than it has to do with the fact that I might be lonely or upset about something and I just want somebody here. The people I find myself missing most often are the people who helped me carry the load, the people who made this business of being in the world easier. So often that's friends, right? A lot of the people that I miss most of the time are my friends. I find myself missing my parents, especially when I'm going through a difficult time. I miss this guy I used to talk to on Tumblr about ludonarrative dissonance and opera and who always had the best music recommendations. Because I don't just miss the people, I miss the way that I felt when I was with them. And sometimes, especially with people who are gone, I miss the version of myself that I was with them. But when I think about that quote, you can love people so much, but never as much as you can miss them, I think, well, but missing someone really is mostly a feeling. But loving people, that's a feeling, but it's also an action. To love someone, to participate in the act of loving them. That's something more than missing someone can ever be. Love is a lot of things, but I think one of the key parts of love is just showing up. I don't have a conclusion. I guess I'm just thinking that I miss a lot of people a lot of the time, and one of the things that I could do is to show up more. Because often when I miss people, it's because I want them to love me a little louder, and maybe they're out there missing me, feeling the same thing. So maybe reach out to someone you miss. They might be missing you too. That concludes this episode of Pillow Talk and my friends and fellow VEDSies. I will see all of you tomorrow.